Greetings, Lightworkers. Mike Quincy, no going back. Things you are involved in connected with bringing the new age move along very slowly on the earth. Yet the net result is that you are beginning to bring the changes about. Human thoughts are now more inclined to seek a peaceful path, having tired of the continual threats of war and confrontations. No sooner do you overcome one problem than another arises, and in part it is a legacy of previous actions by the Dark Ones. Their setup is still active but is diminishing with time, and is becoming fragmented. They certainly do not command the power they had previously, but have established underground bases that are very active. They will continue until their funds run out, as war can obviously be a very expansive venture. So, do not despair. The future is predictable and will fall in place with the changes that are lined up to come out. There is no going back to how things were before 2012, as you are already making progress in the new vibrations that are lifting humanity up. The future is golden, and it matters not which side of the veil you are on. The whole galaxy is on the move into an area in space that will be new to you. It will be most welcome and enable you to live a very satisfying life, far beyond anything you might have imagined. Although you may not grasp the magnitude of what is happening, as the future unfolds, you will be both amazed and delighted at the path that is laid out before you. In relatively short time, life will be unrecognizable when compared to now, and you will be more than satisfied with the degree of upliftment that you will experience. Some souls will cling to what they are familiar with and be reluctant to change, and that is accepted as you are on a free will planet. Be assured that although there is a future mapped out for you, it is how you get there that is in your hands. The more quickly you collectively lift up your vibrations, the quicker you will move out of the lower ones and all of the negativity that it carries. You are far more responsible for how things work out than is apparent to you. So each individual is encouraged to keep focused on the light, and do not be distracted by whatever happen around you. Indeed, your presence has much more value than you probably think. And when sufficient of you come together, your power is increased to much higher levels. So never feel that your contribution is too small or inadequate, as you wield much more power than you think you do. As time passes, even you will note how much more you are able to achieve working with the light. You can use it in a universal manner, or for individuals that you may wish to send healing for. You need only find a quiet place to relax and meditate to prepare yourself to send out healing energies. It happens virtually automatically where you find yourselves in a loving and peaceful situation and share those feelings with other souls. There is the classic example of the mother who comforts her child when it is upset by showing her love for it. Words have power, which is why the sooner you drop making negative comments, the quicker you will make progress in your evolution. Also, be careful what you wish upon another soul, as it will have a habit of coming back to you. It will be hard to suddenly change the way you think when you give energy to the words you speak, but even being aware is a step along the path of changes that will need to be made. The Earth is the only planet of free will in the galaxy, and that must make you wonder how you can live in a situation where you do not have it. Look at it this way. You are on the path of evolution, and at the level you are presently on, it allows you free will in a way that teaches you how to raise your vibrations. When you reach that point where your ego has to take a back seat instead of having an emphasis on self, you will start to feel yourself as a part of the whole instead of an individual. Having reached that point, you would become at one with God, yes, with your God self. In expressing love for all souls with no exceptions, you live your life accordingly and have no need whatsoever to exert power to still be an individual. You do not lose your individuality as such and continue to evolve, and will have reached a higher level and ultimately become a galactic being. Everything you need will be yours through your power of thought, and you will follow a new path as your Pleiadian forefathers have already done, and now nurture you as you return to the higher vibrations. You had been purposefully left to make your own way out of the lower vibrations, and having made a momentous advancement by passing the 2012 marker, the situation has changed. Help will be yours as and when it is necessary, so call upon your guides and even galactic friends when necessary, and help will be at hand. Prior to the start of this new cycle, you were held in the lower vibrations, and help was given in accordance with your level of understanding. Now, however, you have already started to raise your vibrations and will continue to do so, It allows you the advantage of being able to speed up your evolution, and with it, receive more help from outside. Indeed, you will be given more than previously because your level of consciousness has increased. Those of you who are ready to receive the higher knowledge must not be held back any longer, and you will be given every opportunity to advance yourselves much more quickly than previously. It is most important that you keep an open mind and accept new information that may be somewhat different to what you have previously understood to be the truth. Understand that your present levels of consciousness are the measure by which new information can be given to you. There is clearly a right time to give you more, but also avoid overloading you at any one time. You still have free will, but please leave the old teachings behind, as they have well served their purpose in giving you the experiences you needed to evolve out of the lower dimension. The hard work you put in is now being followed by an easier cycle, where eventually only the light will exist. Gone will be the lower energies and anything associated with them. Instead, you have a glorious future ahead of you and become a master of your own energies and use them for all your needs. You can take great credit for having lifted yourselves out of the lower vibrations, and you will not return to them again. Be careful with the thoughts you send out by ensuring they are of the light. Think big as you create your higher pathway, and know that in the course of time, there will be nothing that will be beyond your creative abilities. At the present time, it is wise to keep focused on your positive visions for the future, as humanity collectively will be projecting their desires as to what it will hold for you. In love and light, Mike Quincy, the Council, Miraculous You. We wish to give you a different perspective on some of the earlier information that we have stressed in the past few years. We have talked with you about energy. We have spoken about frequency. We have told you repeatedly that everything is made up, in its essence, of energy and frequency become matter. And we have stressed that the meaning of this is that you are energy beings, electromagnetic energy beings. You are frequency embedded in what is the energy field. And you have an energy frequency that is, in its ever-changing being, unique in all of creation. Many of you are beginning to understand this sort of talk now, but today we want to shed a bit of light on how that applies to a certain type of teaching. You have always been asked not to judge others around you. You have been told that they are also exactly like you in their divine nature. And this is of course true, but you oftentimes, find it difficult to act consistently on that information. This is because what you observe seems to threaten you or your beliefs in some way. Now, we have explained many times the causes for those threatened feelings, explanations that were true, but today we want to approach the subject a bit differently. Because you are living in a three-dimensional, material environment, and because you have many of your natural senses dulled or shut down, you see the world as me and not me. This allows you to see things that seem to be not me, in ways that you would not see them if you really knew, that they were actually a part of your own field. There is actually an explainable way in which they are not me. The first thing to understand is that whatever you perceive is actually another set of frequencies in the field that your brain, that wonderful receiver/translator/transmitter, is translating into pictures and sounds and smells, etc., that it then matches up with things that you have perceived previously. You are constructing a replica in your mind. Necessarily, it is not an exact replica. Why? What do we mean? We mean that there is no way, for most of you, that you are receiving more than a tiny portion of all of the information that the perceived thing truly is. For instance, that person who just cut you off in traffic is trying desperately to get his child to the hospital, but you don't know that. But that is not the point of this message. The point is you are actually seeing an internal construct. So, when you curse it, or judge it to be anything less than divine, you are showering that energy upon your own energy field. There are frequencies involved that you would not choose, biochemicals as well. You are changing your own being in ways that are counter to your intentions. We can say this because you are reading this message. You see, what you see is ever and always within you. That does not mean that there is nothing over there. It is simply an explanation of the mechanism of your perception. But understanding this may help you to make changes in your reactions. You may see why, in a very practical way, it would be far better to bless that sight than to condemn it. It is, after all, you. And it is you in much more immediate ways than you perhaps ever imagined. The change in the frequencies and the biochemicals that you produce within yourselves will serve to miraculously change the miracle that is your manifest self. You are manifesting a self, you know, and you are a miracle. Even one cell of the being that you are is a miracle, and the trillions of cells that make you do a great many miraculous things without you even being aware of them. What sort of miracles will you participate in today?